Hello, and how's it going, everyone? It is Skullzi here with the latest and the greatest gaming news. Today I have a very exciting video for you all because you may have just gotten a very unexpected tease for Starfield at Sony's CES showcase. In case you're not familiar with the Consumer Electronics Show, it was 2 days ago on January 6th, and Sony had about an hour-long showcase at CES. This showcase was live-streamed. The video is unlisted now, but you can still find it on the internet, and about halfway throughout the showcase, during Sony's wrap-up video, a bunch of clips of different games and game trailers and stuff like that, there was something that nobody in the community could seem to place, and everyone is already speculating that it could be Starfield. Now, there is a very good possibility that this footage is from Starfield, however, this is all speculation, so go forward with a grain of salt, but as always, I'm going to break the situation down and give you my opinion on whether or not this is Starfield or if this is something else. Now, the clip in question is after the 33-minute mark during Sony's CES showcase, and if you blink, you might miss it because it's literally that quick. I think it's like 3 or 5 seconds long, and it just shows 3 very, very short video clips of space stuff, and anything related to gaming that is unknown that has to do with space, everyone is automatically going to assume that it might be Starfield or some kind of Starfield tease or a Starfield leak. Wherever it comes from, if it's unknown gaming space stuff, people are going to talk about whether it's Starfield or not, and the Sony CES clip is no exception. However, it is kind of interesting that they show this unknown space game footage right after they've shown other game footage as well. But anyway, before I go into any details about whether I think this is Starfield or not, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll show you the clip real quick. If you want to watch the entire Sony CES showcase, I'll have a link for you down in the description below. Like I said, this clip is after the 33-minute mark, and here it is. Whoa, space stuff! That must mean it's Starfield! Well, yes and no. Like I said, it's kind of weird that Sony would choose to randomly show this space game footage when no one has any idea what game this is from, and they show this space game footage during a compilation of other game footage clips, so clearly it's a game of some kind and not just some kind of like showcase of future graphic rendering technology or anything, because this is CES. They showcase more on the technology side than the game side. However, Sony is obviously a major gaming company, so they would talk about games during their CES showcase. But this is strange because there was that recent rumor that just went around about Sony wanting to buy ZeniMax, and supposedly the deal is going through. However, that rumor is totally fake. That is not a true leak at all. I broke it down in previous videos to show you just how fake it was, but it is kind of interesting that we see a potential Starfield leak from Sony immediately after that leak. But that takes me to my next point. ZeniMax and thus Bethesda Softworks have never been on the best working relationship with Sony. They've had tons of issues over the years, like tons of issues, which actually inevitably led to ZeniMax and thus again Bethesda Game Studios having a closer working relationship with Microsoft. So it would be weird that we would get the first Starfield tease that we've gotten since E3 2018 during Sony's CES showcase of all places. That just doesn't make sense to me, and almost based upon that very fact alone, I would have to say that kind of disproves that this footage is indeed related to Starfield. However, if Bethesda did end up using some sort of technology or some sort of gaming technology or rendering stuff to actually develop Starfield, there is a chance that that rendering or gaming technology would be featured during Sony's CES showcase if Sony did own that technology, and if Starfield was used to make that, Sony might have shown Starfield during their CES showcase because it was built upon their tech. Obviously, this is just speculation as well. I have no idea if that's true or not. I'm just trying to come up with any reason why, if this was indeed Starfield, why Sony would have shown it in the first place. It seems like the Bethesda rumors have been going crazy ever since the beginning of 2020, which is fine with me. I'm always excited to break down some Bethesda rumors and look into some stuff because the more rumors there are, the higher the chance one of them might be true. But this is one I'd have to say, as much as it pains me because I would love to see anything related to Starfield at all, even if it is a 2-second clip. As much as as it pains me, I don't know if this is real. I don't think it is. I consider it plausible, but more towards the most likely fake side of the plausibility spectrum, because mostly based upon what I said earlier about Sony not having a close working relationship with ZeniMax and Bethesda Game Studios. If this did end up being true, the only reason that this would have happened is if Bethesda somehow used technology that Sony owned to make Starfield, and thus that's why Sony decided to show that Starfield footage. Now, as far as the footage itself, it's 3 different specific scenes. You can see there's a scene of what looks like a space shuttle or spaceship of some kind going through hyperspace, flying super fast, obviously a lot faster than our space shuttles or spacecraft can fly now during modern real life times, which leads me to believe that this footage could take place sometime in the future, which would go along with Starfield. And then another clip is of an astronaut's arm turning the throttle up on the spacecraft because apparently it's not going fast enough for this impatient astronaut. Maybe he's trying to go light speed long enough until The Elder Scrolls 6 is finally released. But either way, you can see these graphics are pretty legit. They do look next gen. I'm not sure if I can tell if there's any ray tracing stuff going on within this footage, but if this was showing during Bethesda's E3 showcase, I would totally believe this is a next gen Bethesda space game. And then the other part of this footage is this, with this astronaut right here looking at something. It looks like he might be flying into a nebula or maybe a planet. However, if he's going hyperspeed, he probably wouldn't want to be flying towards a planet. So maybe he's going this fast to go into some sort of space cloud nebula for some reason, either to pass through it safely, or maybe some sort of wormhole or portal is within the nebula that would allow the astronaut to travel far, far away in space. Obviously, this is still speculation based on images that might not even be related to Starfield, but since we don't really get any information regarding Starfield at all, it's fun to still talk about and speculate on these things. And you can't really say that these few clips don't match up with what Bethesda teased back at E3 2018, because they just showed a space station flying away to hyperspace. I mean, we can see the space shuttle here is flying in hyperspace speed, but that doesn't mean it's directly connected to Starfield, because I think hyperspace is in almost every space sci-fi game and movie and book out there ever. And it's hard to say if it's in the same game engine as the Starfield E3 2018 trailer, because that trailer wasn't very close up to stuff. It was like far away, simply just looking at a planet and the space station before it jumped. This footage in Sony CES showcase is a lot closer up and you can see a lot more detail. But if this was Starfield footage, I would be pretty excited because it looks very good just based upon the graphics. I don't know if this would be gameplay or like a cutscene or another trailer that we might see from Bethesda eventually. It's hard to tell, just like it's hard to tell if this is even Starfield in the first place. But like anything else, usually when it comes to any Bethesda Game Studios news, it's usually left up to speculation. Obviously, don't believe anything as 100% true unless it comes straight from ZeniMax or Bethesda Game Studios. But it wouldn't make sense for Sony to decide to just randomly tease some unknown, unannounced next-gen space game at CES. But then again, it wouldn't make sense for Sony to show something related to Bethesda Game Studios since they don't have a good working relationship. It seems like all of the unknowns and contradictory stuff regarding this possible Starfield trailer is pretty crazy. But I guess that's how it is when it comes to Bethesda Game Studios speculation and possible teases and leaks. Obviously, this is more of a tease than a leak, but it seems like we're in familiar water with not knowing what the hell is going on. I give you my opinion on this situation. I personally don't think it's real, but at the same time, it might be because everything is weird regarding this. But what I want to know is, what do you think about this situation? Do you think this is indeed a Starfield teaser, or do you think it's something else entirely? Let me know down in the comments below, and if your comment wins the entry to make it featured in a future video. If you enjoy the content, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. It helps the channel a lot more than you might think. And if you want to stay in the know when it comes to the latest and the greatest gaming news, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn notifications on so you don't miss the latest uploads. Follow me over on Twitter for the latest channel updates. Come over to the official Skullzi Discord chat server where there is always an awesome and active conversation and some speculation taking place. Check out Loot Drop for official Skullzi merchandise over on Teespring. And if you want to have your hand in providing future updates and getting access to unique and awesome awards, then consider subscribing to the community on Patreon as an exclusive channel member, or you can join the channel here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member as well. Links for all of these awesome things are down in the description below, and as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when we still have no idea what the hell is going on. The confusion is assuming direct control. It's like half 50-50 confusion hype, assume direct control mix.
just works.